What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we go ahead and get started today, I gotta say thank God for another day and another opportunity. Now, as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, today I'm going to be showing y'all how to create a very special build today. Now, I'm going to be calling it the 4-way baller, but this build is actually going to come out to a 6'9" inside out shot creator, and it may come out to a few different build names depending on how you do decide to create it today. But I just had to be sure that when it comes down to today's creation, I'm letting you know this is going to be one of the very best builds that you can make when it comes down to the point guard position, but also when it comes down to being all around. So as you can see from the gameplay, we're going to be able to do anything from play elite defense, shoot, as well as be able to score on any end of the floor. Now, as far as when it comes down to this build for the animations, we're going to be able to get pro contact dunks as well as pro dribble moves. And then when it comes down to our attributes, the ones that can reach a 100 plus are going to be the driving dunk and layup, 3-point shot, pass accuracy, ball handle, perimeter defense, steal, block, and our stamina. Now, when it comes down to this build as of Season 7, you're going to be able to get anywhere from 84 to 91 badges, and the takeovers will be the slashing, playmaking, lockdown, and the sharpshooting. So look, before we get any further into this video, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from, and I'll be sure to get back to y'all with a response. So as of Season 7, on this build, you'll be able to get anywhere from 84 to 91 badges as of Season 7. And look, moving forward with this build, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that you need to make sure that you are doing is putting this build under the point guard position. Now, as far as when it comes down to everything else today, I promise you, you're definitely going to want to be sure that you follow along. So when it comes down to our height, I'm going to go with 6'9". As for the weight, put this down to 194, and then when it comes down to the wingspan, I'm going to go with 7'1". Now the body shape I like best is going to be built, but you can also go ahead and pick defined. Now from here, we're all set to get started. Now let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of these attributes. Now, when it comes down to the breakdown of these physicals, the first area that I'm going to get into will be the stamina. Put this to a 96. Now, as for the vertical, I'm going to go with the 75. Moving on to the acceleration, I'm going to go with an 80. And then also for when it comes down to the speed, I'm going to put this to an 82. Now, I'm going to skip over the strength for today, but let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of these defensive stats. So when it comes down to the interior, I'm going to go with the 67. As for when it comes down to the perimeter, I like this at an 88. Now, when it comes down to the steal, put this to a 78. And then as for the block, I'm going to go with an 81. Now, these numbers are adjustable to your own liking, but to complete the defensive end, I'm going to go ahead and put my defensive rebound to a 73 for a total of 20 badges. Now look, the ones that I like most are going to be Box Out Beast, Glove with Menace, but then we also get Challenger, Chase Down Artist Interceptor, and then we also get Anchor with Rebound Chaser. Now look, if you want to make any type of adjustments towards this area, go ahead and do so, but from here, let's go ahead and get started with the offense. So when it comes down to the playmaking, put that pass accuracy up to an 85. Moving on to the ball handle, I like this at an 87. And then as for the speed with ball, I'm going to go with the 75 for a total of 23 badges. Now look, I like Ankle Breaker and Hyperdrive. Break Starter has definitely become one of my favorites as well as Post Playmaker. Then for as well, I can say the same thing as Special Delivery, Quick First Step, and then when it comes down to Tier 3, I like Handles for Days with Killer Combos, and even Unpluggable is one of the better badges. Now moving on to the shooting, go with the 74 when it comes down to the mid-range. Now as for the three-pointer, I'm going to go with an 89, and right there we get a total of 21 badges. Now for the free throw, I like this at a 76, and look, we get Amp, Space Creator, Agent 3, Green Machine, and then also Limitless Range. Now to wrap it up with the finishing, go ahead and put that driving dunk up to a 87. And as for when it comes down to the layup, I'm going to go with an 82. As for the close shot, put this to a 76. And right there, we're going to be able to get a total of another 15 badges. Now if you put the rest into the standing dunk, we get 16. And look, we get Acrobat, Giant Slayer, Pro Touch with Slithery, but then we get Aerial Wizard with Limitless Takeoff, Fearless Finisher, and then we're also able to equip Posterizer on the silver tier. Now something that everyone should take into consideration will be the +4 that you get from buying your own boost, the additional that we get from playing better throughout a game, and then on top of that, take into consideration the +10 that you get from 2 separate takeovers and running with a teammate that has on Hall of Fame floor general. Now when it comes down to these takeovers, we get the slashing, sharpshooting, playmaking, and then the lockdown. Now if you want to get the most out of today's build, the first one that I'm going to go with is going to be extreme clamps. Now the second one, I can definitely say that finishing moves would be my favorite. Also, if you wanted to go with limitless range, that's another solid one. But honestly, look, the playmaking and being able to break ankles is really going to make this build a very unique one. I'm going to go ahead and say to be the most overpowered, I would go with the slashing. Now let's go ahead and check out the build to make sure that we made it correctly together. And if you followed every single step, we should be getting these 3 comparisons. We get the Ball Brothers, and as y'all can see, we have created the 4-way baller, which comes out to a 2-way inside-out scorer build. Now I think it's pretty unique that I decided to name this build as I did and got the Melo Ball and Lonzo. Now let me know your thoughts and opinion on this build down below. And as you can see, if you add up all of the boosts that I previously mentioned, you're going to be able to see the true potential of what this build can actually do. Now from here, let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of the badge layout. Now when it comes down to these badges, I'm going to go with Silver Slithery, Fearless Finisher, Core Posterizer, Gold Aerial Wizard, and Limitless Takeoff. Now I'm telling y'all, this is going to be one of the best setups that you can go with for this area. Now I would definitely consider throwing extra badges to try to get Pro Touch or even Giant Slayer and Acrobat. As for the shooting, I like Amped and then Agent 3 on gold, Green Machine with silver, core limitless range, and then also you cannot go wrong with Volume Shooter and Hall of Fame Space Creator. Now if you want to, you can make any type of adjustment when it comes down to the layout of badges to your own liking. I think personally this is going to be one of the best setups to start with for the offensive end, and these will be the jump shots that we can pick and recreate from, and I really do believe that this is going to be one of the most unique builds, especially when it comes down to being all around at the point guard position. Now when it comes down to the playmaking, I'm going to go with silver handles for days and killer combos, core, gold clamp breaker, quick first step, hyperdrive with ankle breaker, and if you throw one extra badge into this area, we're going to be able to get ankle breaker on the Hall of Fame tier. Now I really like special delivery on Hall of Fame and also break starter. As for the defensive end, I'm going to go with bronze glove, anchor on the core, and then silver clamps with interceptor, box out beast, gold chase down artist, and Hall of Fame menace. Now there's a few different setups that you can definitely run. I was considering rebound chaser and then also being able to equip anchor. I even would think about challenger, but I definitely see clamps as more important. And there's a ton of tier 1 badges that you can also pick and mix match from. Now if you want to, go ahead and change anything to your own liking. Let me know down below your thoughts and opinion on this build. And I just want to say thank y'all to those of you who did make it to the very end. More so than anything, thank God for another day and another opportunity. And if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Smash that like button. Turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family. And last but definitely not least, comment down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. And with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.